In a small town near the mountains, there lived a young man named Alex. He was 25 years old, thin and quiet. His clothes were old and torn. His shoes had holes. He had no home, no job, and very little food. But he had something special, a voice that could touch the heart. Every morning, Alex woke up on a cold bench near the bus station. He looked at the people rushing to work, holding coffee and smiling. He wanted to be like them, clean, warm, and happy. But life had been hard for him. His parents had died when he was young, and he grew up alone. He tried to find work, but no one wanted to hire a poor man with no home. Sometimes he helped at small shops, carrying boxes or cleaning floors. Sometimes people gave him bread or a few coins. But most of the time, Alex only had his voice to survive. He would sing on the streets, in front of cafes, and near the station. When he sang, people stopped for a moment, surprised by the beauty of his sound. His voice was warm and deep, full of feeling and hope. Alex had always loved music. When he was a child, his mother used to sing to him at night. He remembered her soft voice, singing songs about love and dreams. Even after she was gone, he could still hear her voice in his heart. That memory became his light in the darkest nights. Every evening, Alex took out his small broken guitar. He sat on the corner of the street and started to sing. He sang slow songs about pain, love, and the search for happiness. People walked by. Some gave him a coin, others didn't even look at him. But Alex never stopped singing. He believed that one day someone would truly listen. There was a little girl who often came to hear him sing. Her name was Lily. She was 7 years old and loved music. She told him one day, "Alex, when you sing, I feel happy inside." Alex smiled and said, "Thank you, Lily. That means everything to me." Her words gave him strength to keep singing through the cold nights. One night, it rained heavily. The wind was strong, and most people ran home quickly. Alex had no home to go to. He stood under a small roof near the station, holding his guitar close. Water dripped from his hair. His fingers were cold, but he started to sing anyway. His voice floated through the rain, soft, sad, but beautiful. He sang a song he had written himself, about loneliness, hunger, and dreams that refused to die. It was a song from the heart, and even the rain seemed to quiet down to listen. At that same moment, a man named Mr. Carter was walking by. He was a well-known music producer, tired after a long day at work. When he heard Alex's voice, he stopped in the rain and listened. Something about that sound touched his soul. It was real, raw, and full of emotion. When the song ended, Mr. Carter walked up to Alex. "Hey, young man, he said softly. "You have a beautiful voice." Alex looked up, surprised and a little scared. "Thank you, sir," he said quietly. "I just sing to stay alive." Mr. Carter smiled. "Would you like to sing in a real studio?" Alex blinked. "A studio? Me?" "Yes," Mr. Carter said. "You have something special." The next day, Alex went to the studio. It was big and bright, full of instruments, microphones, and lights. He had never been in such a place before. He felt nervous, small, and out of place. But Mr. Carter smiled and said, "Don't worry. Just be yourself." Alex closed his eyes and began to sing. He sang a song about hope, about the stars above poor men's dreams. His voice filled the room like warm sunlight after rain. When he finished, there was silence, a deep, emotional silence. Everyone in the studio looked at him with awe. Even the sound engineer had tears in his eyes. "Mr. Carter, that was incredible, Alex. We will record your songs. You are going to be famous." Weeks passed quickly. Alex recorded song after song. He worked hard, often singing for hours until his voice was tired. But he didn't complain. He was living his dream. Mr. Carter named the album "The Streets and the Stars." It was a story told through music. The story of a man who had nothing but a dream. When the album came out, people were moved by his songs. They heard the truth in his voice, the pain and beauty of his life. Soon, Alex's songs played on radios, in cafes, and in cars all over the city. His name appeared in newspapers and on TV. People said, "Who is this man with the golden voice?" And when they learned his story, they admired him even more. Alex became famous. He sang on big stages with bright lights and thousands of fans. He wore clean clothes, had his own apartment, and ate warm meals every day. But deep in his heart, he was still the same man who once sang in the cold streets. One night after a big concert, Alex couldn't sleep. The applause was still in his ears, but his mind was full of memories. He thought about the nights when he had nothing, about the rain, about Lily and her little smile. So he took his guitar and went out into the quiet city. He walked back to the old bus station. The same bench was still there, wet from the night's rain. Alex sat down and looked around. The streets were almost empty. Then he began to sing again. He sang not for money, not for fame, but for love. For the people who were still out there, fighting through life. His voice echoed in the night, gentle and strong. A few people stopped to listen, just like before. But this time, they knew who he was. An old man said, "Is that Alex, the famous singer?" Another whispered, "He's singing for us." Alex smiled through his song. He wanted them to know that he had never forgotten. As the years passed, Alex became one of the most loved singers in the country. He traveled the world, sang in many cities, and met many people. But no matter where he went, he always spoke about hope. He told young people, "Dreams are not only for the rich. They are for everyone who dares to believe." With the money he earned, Alex built a small music school for poor children. He called it the Dream House. There, kids learned to sing, play instruments, and believe in themselves. He often visited the school, sitting with the children, listening to their songs. He told them stories about his own life, about the cold streets, the rain, and the night when everything changed. "Never give up," he said. "Your voice matters. Even if no one listens now, someday someone will." The children loved him. They saw not a superstar, but a kind man who understood their pain. And whenever he sang with them, his eyes shone with the same light as before, the light of hope. Many years later, Alex returned once again to the bus station. He stood under the same small roof where Mr. Carter had found him long ago. He smiled, holding his old guitar. He began to sing his first song, the one about dreams that never die. His voice was still strong, but now it carried wisdom and peace.